When I tell people that I've been practicing yoga for over 6 years, usually they don't believe me because I don't have the perfect yoga goddess body and I can't do really hard asanas either. Obviously, I don't care what other people think of me. It's a common misconception that you need to look a certain way to practice yoga. Yoga is not about how it looks like, it's about how it feels like. And to demonstrate that, let me show you the most difficult asana in yoga. Wait, is that it? Everybody can lay on their backs. Yes, but not everybody can do this asana. Again, it's not about how it looks like, it's about how it feels like.
This is what happens for the majority of people when they do Shavasana. Okay, it's time to relax now. I just need to let go of things. Okay, I can do this. I'm a feather floating above earth. Inhale. Exhale. I just need to send an email to Jessica. Oh, no, I don't need to think about that. I'm thinking about nothing. Nothing. I need to take the laundry out. And this is what should be happening in Shavasana.
Shavasana is the hardest asana in yoga because our minds are always racing. We are constantly thinking about the past or future. We are dreaming, worrying, planning, ruminating. It's really difficult to calm our minds down because we are stimulated all day, every day. I hope this demonstrated you that yoga is so much more than just a bunch of poses. I'm making this video to hopefully inspire you to give yoga a try or to even make it a consistent part of your life. In this video, I want to address 2 more common misconceptions about yoga. I want to share with you 2 valuable lessons that yoga has taught me in the 6 years of my practice. I want to give you some tips for starting with yoga, and we're even gonna dip our toes into the history of yoga. Let's dive deep into that. Let's talk about another common misconception about yoga. I've heard my friends say things like, oh, I'm not flexible enough to practice yoga. Like, what do you mean? What do you mean you're not flexible enough to practice yoga? If you want to get flexible, you can practice yoga and it will help you get there. Contrary to the popular belief, you don't need to have a naturally flexible body or a background in gymnastics to do it. Yoga is for everybody. Yoga is not about touching your toes. It's about your journey on the way down. It doesn't matter whether you can or cannot do a deeper expression of any asana right away. It's not like you will touch your toes and immediately become successful at doing this asana. In fact, asanas don't have a beginning or the end. There's always something to refine, and it's not a linear process at all. That's why yoga is never boring. First, we work on the big stuff, like folding down from our hips and keeping our spine straight and touching our toes. But then the refining details get more and more subtle. And we work on keeping one gazing point and focusing on our breath and clearing our mind, and those are much harder. As a beginner, you will go through a lot of discomfort in your practice. It's gonna take time to stretch and strengthen your muscles. You might think that doing some asanas halfway is gonna be much more uncomfortable than doing the full expression, but actually, it's not the amount of discomfort that changes. It's your ability to withstand that discomfort. Your perception changes. And this ability has been absolutely life-changing for me. Expanding my capacity to be uncomfortable on the yoga mat translated into me getting out of my comfort zone in life. It was uncomfortable to quit a corporate job and start paving my own creative path with much lower income. It was uncomfortable to publish videos of myself online and show up the way I am, with my imperfect body, with my imperfect face, and with my imperfect video ideas. Yet all of that made my life so much more worth living, and yoga has played a big role in that. It has taught me how to breathe through the discomfort. So what is yoga? From Sanskrit, yoga means union. The physical practice of yoga helps us to achieve the union of our mind, body, and spirit, the union of our movements and breath, the union of our intentions and actions, the union of us and the universe. Another life-changing lesson I got from yoga is being in the present moment. When I come on my mat, nothing else matters. It's just me, my body, my breath, my mind, and my spirit. The present moment is all I have. Everything that I was doing before and everything that I'll do after doesn't matter. And if my mind starts to wander, I will not engage the right muscles, I can fall out of balance, I can even injure myself, and I'll be just wasting my time. And this skill, focusing on the present moment, here and now, has been fundamental to alleviating anxiety. I'm about to go into this yoga studio for a class, and I actually have not been to yoga studio in a while, and I'll share why later in this video. For now, I just wanted to say that I started practicing yoga in a yoga studio. 6 years ago, I would go 3 times a week to the same yoga studio, to different teachers, to different classes, but it was so nice to start out that way because I got introduced in the best way possible. I saw the results faster. Teachers helped to align me in different poses and help me focus on different parts that I need to work on. And I was also introduced into a really cool community, and I felt really comfortable among the people there, and I became friends with a few of those people, and I just wanted to practice more because of that. So if you want to start out with yoga, I highly recommend you to start out in a studio. That practice, you guys, that practice was something else. I don't push myself like that when I'm practicing at home. It was a 2-hour-long Vinyasa practice in Spanish, okay? I don't speak Spanish, like, wow. In the middle of the flow, when we've done doing asanas for like one side of the body, I was already good to go. I was like, I'm exhausted. I would be fine now if I finished. And I was dreading to do the same things on the other side of the body, but I did it. I've done it. I made it. I'm so proud of me for doing that, and this is one of the great reasons why to go to yoga studio. Having said that, I would also like to share a few reasons why I stopped having regular yoga practices in yoga studios. Reason number 1 is that I really love the freedom to practice yoga whenever I want, wherever I want, and for however long I want. It just makes more sense with my lifestyle. As a content creator and as a creative freelancer, I have a very flexible schedule. It changes all the time, and I just need to feel like I have all the time in the day to do the creative work without any interferences. And there is sometimes too much hustle around going to a yoga studio. Like, I need to plan for it, and I need to prepare for that, and I need to go there and practice and come back and unwind from all of that experience. Sometimes it's just too much for me, and I can't get into the flow of my work, and that to me is the most important. The reason number 2 is that I get to choose the type of practice that I'm gonna have. When I go to yoga studio, I can choose in between different yoga styles like Vinyasa, Hatha, Yin Yoga, and so on. And when I'm practicing with YouTube or with some online programs, I can choose something for my back, something for my legs, something for my hips, something for the full body, something relaxing, something fiery. There are so many options, and I really like that I get to choose them. And reason number 3 is that I don't really like to be perceived when I'm practicing yoga. I figured out that I have the most deep, intense, mindful practice that teaches me some valuable lessons when I am practicing alone, when there are no people around, when there is no camera around. When I'm shooting how I'm practicing yoga for a vlog, I'm not really practicing yoga. I'm demonstrating how I'm practicing yoga. It's a bit different. And of course, none of these reasons are gonna stop me from going to yoga class. It's just that I'm not doing that regularly anymore, and sometimes it's really nice to get out of like a rut with my own yoga practice and to re-inspire myself and to be in a new environment and to meet new people and new teacher. So it's still very valuable. I just don't want to do it regularly. The third common misconception about yoga is that it's a religion or a cult. That's why many people hesitate to try it. They don't want to be worshipping gods that they don't believe in, and they don't want to be dragged into a cult surrounded by fanatics talking about third eyes, singing mantras, and having blocks in their hips. To unpack this one, let's dip our toes into the history of yoga. Yoga has been practiced since the dawn of civilization. It exists for more than 5,000 years. The first archaeological evidence was discovered in Mohenjo-Daro and Harappa, in the heart of the Indus Valley civilization, one of the 4 oldest civilizations on Earth. Here you can see 2 faience seals with depictions of figures in Mula Bandhasana. Don't repeat this one at home, you can try it, but please be careful, this is an advanced asana. Mula Bandhasana could be the symbol of yoga. At that time, in the 3rd millennium BC, there was no established religion, no temples were built in those ancient cities, Harappa and Mohenjo-Daro, but there was the fertility goddess cult. There were lots of these clay female figurines all over the ancient India. So religion as we know today didn't exist when yoga originated. However, later yoga intertwined with religion. It influenced religion and religion influenced yoga. But of course, yoga that we practice in the cute yoga studios today have little in common with the original yoga. Yoga started gaining huge popularity in the Western world in the late 20th century, and people were attracted to the physical benefits of yoga, the asanas, not so much to the spiritual ones. So now we have yoga clothes, yoga studios, yoga programs, retreats, teacher trainings, yoga everything. It's a huge global industry worth $107 billion. I guess what I'm trying to say is, not only yoga can help you to be more flexible, it also is flexible itself. So it threads itself into the canvas of the history, adapting to what we need from it in any given era. Was it really necessary to dive into such deep rabbit hole to make a point? No. Did I have fun doing this? Yes. Did you enjoy it? You let me know in the comments. And if you are enjoying this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. If I made this video before I read this book, I would definitely say no, yoga is not a religion and it's not a cult. Now, I say yes, it's a religion and it's definitely a cult for sure. And it doesn't mean that it's bad and you need to run away from it, it's just that the definitions of these things have changed. Soul cycle, cult. Digital nomadism, cult. Specialty coffee, cult. Social media, cult. Feel free to list below all the cults that you are a part of. I would say, as long as there is no cult leader whose picture is hanging in the yoga studio watching over everybody, as long as you can still live your normal life when you go out of the yoga studio, and when there is no punishment for anything, like, well, if you don't want to reincarnate into a cockroach, I suggest you book that retreat with us for $3,000. Then you're good. You're not in a harmful cult. There is one curious organization called 3HO, which stands for Happy, Healthy, Holy Organization. It's much darker than the name promises. This is the type of stuff that you need to run away from as soon as possible, but I'm gonna let you do your own research on that. So far in this video, we addressed 3 common yoga misconceptions. I shared with you 2 life-changing lessons that yoga has taught me. We even dipped our toes into the history of yoga, and I gave you 1 tip for getting started with yoga. Before I share with you a few more tips, let me just say that you're special. Thank you very much for sticking around, for watching my video till the end. You are one of about 20% that usually watch my videos till the end. I really appreciate that you choose to hang out with me, that you choose to be on my channel. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe. It's so 2010 not to subscribe to YouTube channels because you're too cool or what. And don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, leave a comment. I know that you might think that you have nothing to say and nothing to share, but I also know that you had a million thoughts while watching this video, and they are very valuable and will be much appreciated in the comments down below. And I would be happy to read about your story and your experience and what you think of this video or of yoga. Just feel free to write something nice in the comments down below. Now, let's get on with those tips. My second tip for getting started with yoga is to get yourself a really good yoga mat. It honestly makes all the difference. There's nothing more annoying to me than practicing on a low quality yoga mat on which I'm gonna slip away in my downward facing dog like I don't want to be annoyed during my practice. There are two important qualities, the grip and the thickness. Mine is very grippy and very thin, practically foldable, like in a little square, so I can take it with me everywhere. I always bring my mat to a yoga studio because I just love it so much. I recommend you go to a store and you actually touch the mats and make sure it's exactly what you want. Online, they don't tell the truth and reviews are not truthful as well. I bought yoga mats before online, it never was as grippy as they promised, so go to a store and touch one for yourself. And my last tip is to try out different styles of yoga, different classes, teachers, studios, programs, YouTube channels. Like, give it a try. It's so versatile, it's so different. Like, the same style taught by two different teachers gonna give you a completely different experience. There is something in yoga for everybody. Just give it a try. Thanks for watching this video. I'll see you in my next one. Peace!